But Mumbai and Delhi is something, for some reason, there are very few percentage of Mumbai and Bombay are there in me. So most of it is very Bihari. Ghalib ने कहा है कि बाजी चाहे इरफाल है दुनिया मेरे आगे, होता है शब रोज़ तमाशा मेरे आगे. तो मतलब बच्चों के खेलने का मैदान है ये दुनिया, और मेरे सामने रोज़ तमाशा हो रहा है और मैं देख रहा हूँ. आई एम एन ऑब्जर्वर.
आप जो देख रहे हैं ये सब जो जर्नलिस्ट हैं, these are people who are hardwired to be skeptical, to ask questions. पर इस वक्त they are all overawed by you, by your talent.
Thank you.
And so सबसे पहले thank you for your movies, thank you for your talent.
Oh, thank you. Thank God.
So you're much awarded. You've got 4 national awards. You're also a Padma Shri. But for us, what stays with us, what of Manoj Bajpayee is Bhiku Matre from Satyab. There is Sardar Khan from Gangs of Wasipur. There is Professor Cyrus from Aligarh. And then that man in Gully Gulaiya, who is compulsively, obsessively watching other people and losing his own grip on reality in Purani Delhi. I'll start, Manojji, with the place you come from and the journey you made to Bombay. So, आप बेतिया से हैं?
जी, बेतिया से होने.
गांव पास में है बेतिया के. जी. तो बहुत साल पहले 2005 में मैं गई थी बेतिया. And what I was struck by was उस वक्त लालू जी का राज का अंत हो रहा था, नीतीश जी आने वाले थे. तो वहाँ एक किडनैपिंग इंडस्ट्री चल रही थी और लोग ऐसे नॉर्मल तरीके से बात करते थे कि हाँ उसका अपहरण हो गया और वो जो है वो डकैतों का भीष्म पितामह है. इस तरह से वो लोगों को उन्होंने डकैतों को नाम भी दिए हुए थे. एंड एक तरफ बोलते थे लोग कि लालू जी ने हमको आवाज़ दी, दूसरी तरफ बोलते थे कि हमको सरकार से कुछ नहीं चाहिए क्योंकि जिसके पास कुछ है ये नहीं वो क्या मांगेगा. तो इस तरह का था बेतिया उस टाइम. और फिर आप आए बॉम्बे. तो ये 2 जो जगह है ये आपकी एक्टिंग प्रोसेस में कैसे फीड इन करती है? क्या आप बेतिया को से भी ड्रॉ करते हैं अभी तक या बॉम्बे आपका घर है एज एन एक्टर?
Well, first of all, good evening. Thank you. Thank you for really gathering here for this conversation. Yes, I come from a very remote place of our country, right near Nepal border. Yes, you've done the research right that it was a difficult time for all the people who were living in there. A time of dacoits, a time of kidnapping, a time of murders, and the gang murders was something which was part of our life. It was so normal, it was so normalized those days that I still remember in Betia Shahar, that is a district town where all of us have studied in different boarding school, because it was also a Catholic populated area, and because of the missionaries, there were too many Catholics there, and there were good schools definitely, because they always had the reputation of running schools very well for every class. So I come from that kind of a village and that kind of a district town. The journey from that place to Delhi to Mumbai, all of these years, you not only you draw inspirations or references from the place you come from, yes, those things are rooted very heavily in your mindset, and that's almost like part of your personality. It's easy to recall so many incidences. Sometimes one feels that it's like a dream that I have come this far. Yes, you are very right. But the formative years were spent in Delhi. Going to Delhi University, that was also an excuse to buy time while I could get into theatre, completely. So, Delhi University and then theatre days in Delhi itself, the life has been of learning and unlearning many things which were there in me because of the setup I came from. Also learning the ways of the metropolitan was also a part of routine every day, inculcating the habits of extensive reading, and meeting people and educating yourself. Part of the skill that I was learning, English was one of them. Uh, because I came from a Bhojpuri area and we studied in Hindi medium, but Hindi was mostly with Bhojpuri twang, right? Even our teachers who were teaching Hindi, they could not pronounce sh, sh. You know, it was always s for them. So it was so. The Hindi was very difficult when we were. Hindi was as a subject was very difficult to score for me. For some reason, I was very good in Sanskrit. I was very good in English, but English was just one subject, like physics, like mathematics. So when we are portraying characters, there are too many instances or the people uh, I, I visit, you know, and automatically you go there. I don't know what's the reason, because I stayed in Bihar for 18 years till the age of 18, and then I left my roots. And in Bombay, I'm like 30 years now. So, but Mumbai and Delhi is something for some reason there are very few percentage of Mumbai and Bombay are there in me. So most of it is very Bihari. I still don't know the reason, because the most of the time I've spent it was in Delhi or mostly in Mumbai. But for references, I always go back to my roots. When I was playing Biku Mahatrin, and I hardly knew any mafia guy from Mumbai, so I got all my references from Betia, Bahubalis, or the local young mafias, you know, roaming around freely. Okay, very stylish. I know one of them was a Jitendra.
Was there one that you modeled Biku Matre on?
His shirt. Okay, so the shirt I bought for Biku Matre is the colorful shirt that came from a guy who was quite a dreaded one in Betia, and he was a good-looking guy, and he was Jitendra fan. So he used to wear all white, even white trouser, and bobby print shirts, white shirts. So the shirt reference came from there. So for some reason, I keep going back to Bihar for all the references, even for and mostly these are all emotional references, because I firmly believe that the human beings from here to Boston, all of them are same. You know, it's just the language that changes, a city changes. There are some difference in culture, but mostly the make of human being is the same, and there is nothing else that changes. So even if you give me a character, if I'm working in an English film and the story is set in New York, I'm definitely going just to find some kind of relation. I'll visit my village only. Because along the line, I've realized that all of them are same. Their conflicts are same. Their emotional setup is somewhere very similar. Yeah.
Bombay ke bare mein, you've said somewhere that it's not a city for the old or the very young.
It is not. I mean, look at the infrastructure. You'll realize that I'm 100% right. They never cared about parks, right? They only cared about skyscrapers in Mumbai. They never cared about pedestrians. They only cared about the cars to move or ply or the buses to ply. Not even buses, I would say. So if there are no parks, there is no greenery. There are only places for the buildings. That means there is no place for the children. There is no sensitivity towards the children where they are going to play. How where the old people or retired people are going to spend their mornings and evenings, So they have to be locked up in the 4-bedroom or 3-bedroom or 1-bedroom apartment. That clearly means that this city indicates that we don't need you. Okay, so there is an unwelcoming approach to old ones and the very, very young.
So even though Bombay is a mix of so many people, for your characters you have to keep going back to Bihar.
Oh yes, definitely. But if you ask me why, I don't know. I kept on pondering over it. I kept on analyzing, but I always failed in finding the real reason behind it.
In some interview, you also said that for an actor, you can divide their life in two phases, pre 40 years and post 40 years. And you also said that post 40, what also starts happening is, at least with you, that you find that the mastering of the pause and the dialogue of the silence, that it's not always necessary to speak, that your acting has to find the dialogue in the silence. What did you mean?
I mean, as an individual, if you sit down and look back, well, till till you hit 40, you feel full of energy and full of life, and you actually take it for granted. You feel that there's a lot many years in your hand. It's only after 40 that you start settling down. You start calming down. You start using all that you have learned through the years uh, really well, because now you are quiet, now you are calm, now you are not in a hurry. uh, so till 40 you are giving it all. You are taking everything for granted. You don't even feel insecure about life. But it's only after 40 the person, the individuals start settling down. They start understanding the importance of each and every day. So they are not taking it for granted. And today, if you ask me, I put in a lot of time and energy and my experience into my work than I have ever done before. Earlier, it was mostly about energy, okay? Giving it all, every time giving it all. But only after 40, the actors mature. They are maturing because the individual has matured. And they have gotten into a phase where they are sitting back, and now they are analyzing what all they have done and whatever is left on their hand. Now, how to make use of it in the most wisest way and most productive way.
But what did you mean about silence? That you
Yeah, because
the
before
pause,
40, you don't want anybody. You don't want to listen. You just want to talk. You just want to tell a lot. Because you are bubbling with energy. You want world to listen to you, and you think that you know too much, right? It's only after 40 you know the predictability of everything. You start knowing the predictability of everything. You look at a young man who is talking to you, and you know exactly how he's going to be after 5 years. Yeah, that's the so that's the beauty of the life experience. That actually you cannot get it after reading 50 books, right? So there are many people that you meet in the villages. They are far more intelligent. Their EQ and IQ is far bigger than anybody who has been a voracious reader and who has lived, say, 30 years in an urban life. And you see them just sitting there on a cot outside their hut, and see them just walking seeing the passerby walking across, and you now I know exactly what they are thinking. It's like गालिब ने कहा है कि बाजीचाए इरफाल है दुनिया मेरे आगे, होता है शब रोज़ तमाशा मेरे आगे. तो मतलब बच्चों के खेलने का मैदान है ये दुनिया, और मेरे सामने रोज़ तमाशा हो रहा है और मैं देख रहा हूँ. आई एम एन ऑब्जर्वर. So after 40, now you are in the process of becoming an observer rather than a doer who is doing it all the time, right?
तो आप अगर भीखू मात्रे पोस्ट 40 करते तो क्या डिफरेंटली करते? और दूसरा इसी के साथ जुड़ा कि भीखू मात्रे आपका इतना आइकॉनिक कैरेक्टर हो गया सत्या का. डिड दैट ऑल्सो इन अ सेंस constrict you going ahead? मतलब did it cast a shadow on your other roles or your performances?
It would have, and I was very much aware of it. Had I not taken a different path of doing various different kind of roles and different genres, right? That kind of a success or the recognition through that kind of a cult role and performance, it was not easy for any actor to come out of. For 3 years, I was only known as Bhiku Mhatre. It's only after Satya, Shul and Kaun and Aks and Zubeda, mostly Zubeda, that people started, separating actor from the character. That happened because of my constant, search for different kind of films and completely opposite roles that I have done. And to my luck, all of those roles become quite memorable.
Yeah, so but post 40, would you have done Bhiku Matre differently?
Craft-wise, maybe, but Bhiku Mhatre in that age group required that kind of an energy. Yeah, maybe I would not be able to do it that well now, because the energy of that I was in, I had those days. I don't have it. I mean, my bones are cracking, most of the time. I'm always very careful, jumping around on if I have to do it on this.
और उसमें तो
in the
डांस
scene.
आपने किया
Yeah.
इतना.
So yeah, I mean, every age has its own beauty, but as far as actors are concerned, they only mature after 40.
And I read somewhere you like to dance.
I mean, I'm not Hrithik Roshan, but I express as good as any one of these guys, that they will express after 2 drinks.
So एक और रोल आपका which is one of your more recent roles, वो गली गुलैया.
Gali Guliyan,
So
yeah.
हाँ, जहाँ पे आप you play this middle-aged man who's living in a पुरानी दिल्ली की एक छोटे से कमरे में जिसने कैमरास लगाए हुए हैं और वो पुरानी दिल्ली में गलियों को देख रहा है, लोगों को देख रहा है, पर at the same time he is going inwards, ना, वो अंदर जा रहा है और वो छूट रहा है उससे, उसका जो sanity पे जो grip है. तो that character that I think required a post 40 actor to do. And also I want to ask you, आपने इसके बारे में काफी बात किया है, but can you tell us again? I mean, you've said that you reached the verge of a breakdown because of that character. So क्या हुआ था?
I mean, extreme weight loss that you are going for, the extreme depth that you are trying to touch as an actor for the character. It became from the beginning of my preparation. It started becoming evident, not to me. I was not conscious of that fact. It was my wife once said that just take care of yourself, because I see you talking to yourself when you are walking by.
Really?
So I didn't take it that seriously. It's only on the 29th day of the shoot that I started hearing whistle in my right ear or left ear, I don't remember. And that was the time I was completely woken up to the fact that there's something going on in my brain which is not right. Then I spoke to my doctor. Even my director spoke to his doctor. My director is from West Delhi. He was in LA. He's done his education from LA. So all the doctors were of the opinion of putting me on sedative, immediately. And I was given this Campos. And I slept off for 10 hours, 11 hours I slept. After that I felt all right. But it was risky. It was risky to take that preparation to that extent. And it has happened to me. It has happened to few of the actors in the past in our country, and many actors in Hollywood, that even weight loss, they go to the extent of really losing their life. Like one of them was Christian Bale in Machinist, and many of them, like De Niro has done it. But now I think it has become very scientific. I just hope so. But we go extra mile in achieving the character physically and internally.
But there are two ways of approaching a role. One is what you do, what you did in Gali Gulaiya. You immerse yourself and you reach a point of breakdown. But the other is where you retain your equanimity, you retain your balance as...
You can't do it. I have done many roles where I retain my equanimity, as you were saying, but there is a certain portion
What's
of
the
me
difference?
who
Is it the
like,
character that defines this approach, or is it
it's
that as an actor you decide?
It's always the characters. Look, I mean, Gully Gulia will fail if the character's restlessness and the breakdown is not seen in the eyes of the actor. Eyes don't lie, and camera has this ability to catch those eyes very, very clearly. You know, camera can catch those lies, you know, in actor's eyes. And I wanted to achieve the character's mental state in his eyes. The same thing is in Dispatch. The Kanu Behel here, more than me, Kanu Behel, who's a taskmaster. He has a process of workshop. The workshop is very tedious, exhausting to the point of breakdown. Uh, I have seen many of the actors, really going through the workshop inside, and I'm preparing outside, and suddenly I saw those actors coming out, really breaking down badly. So that's Kanu Behel's process. So he takes you there before the film starts. So you don't have to go on the set then start preparing. Like he wants 2 months of extensive workshop before he really starts the shooting. When you will see the film, you realize that it was hard because of the kind of workshop that he conducts before every film of his, and more so for this film. And also you will see the eyes of the actors in this one. They are not of their own; they are of the characters that they are playing.
I'll ask one more question, then open it up to the audience. So, you've been at NSD. NSD में आप student नहीं थे शायद, as teacher थे. But you've done Barry John के साथ workshops.
अच्छा, मैं एनएसडी से 3-4 बार रिजेक्ट हुआ हूँ।
जी।
तो
जी।
मैंने थिएटर किया है बाहर में, बहुत सारे थिएटर किए। उसमें से बैरी के साथ में 7 years था।
जी।
3-4 years continuously, then 3 years on and off.
थिएटर से ही जुड़ा है मेरा प्रश्न, ये कि थिएटर में आप मतलब इट्स अ वेरी टेस्टिंग थिंग कि आप कोई रीटेक नहीं है, कोई मिस्टेक आप सुधार नहीं सकते हैं. इट्स राइट देयर एंड यू हैव टू बी देयर, बी प्रेजेंट. सो does that give you as an actor on the screen now, does it give you a certain creative energy which you draw on from your theater days, or does it also give you a sort of a confidence कि मैंने वो किया है तो मैं ये तो कर ही सकता
हूँ? The confidence of knowing the craft, confidence of knowing the ways to achieve the character, yes, it's definitely there. Also, we are coming from outside, and our fathers and relatives are not from the film industry. So you are always you want to make the best of each and every opportunity that you are getting, and leave an impression in audience's mind and in director's mind. So we cannot afford to learn the tricks of the trade on the job. We can't, since we don't have any connection in industry. Yes, if you are coming from a fiber, like my daughter will have that freedom of learning the tricks on the job, but I could not. I was thrown out. I mean, I still remember I got this big opportunity in one serial, and on the first day itself they said, get out, we don't like your performance. But for some reason they didn't like my performance, so they've thrown me out. Then there was this incident where I went for the serial shoot, and I was the main guy. And the first take, and director went out, and she called each and every assistant director outside, and chief came to me and said that please go and change because we didn't like it. So even after doing theatre for a decade, this could happen. Just imagine, trying to learn it on the job will be disastrous, right? For your mental health. If you go through that kind of a rejection, then you may lose the sanity, right?
But theatre gave you that first
but
platform.
Theatre gives you one confidence that even after 10 rejection, that this is not your time. But the day my time will come, I will shut them up. So that confidence of knowing the craft, of knowing the ways of the medium was always there.
So theatre gave you that platform,
Yes.
it gave you the confidence, but you never went back to theatre.
I didn't go back to theatre for one reason, that when I shifted to Mumbai, there was this very focused mind which kept on telling me that you are here for for certain job, just do that. Then we have done theatre, that's enough. And if you start doing theatre, then theatre will not let you commit to any film, because the shows cannot be compromised just because you got some break somewhere. The dates are pakka, that cannot change. So I said, let me keep everything open to opportunities. And now I'm too busy to go back to theatre. I want to. I must admit this to you, that I want to go back to theatre, and I know that this will happen very soon.
So we'll open it up to questions, and in fact, Yajas, do you want to start? So we have this, he's a student of writing for cinema and theatre both.
No, for writing.
For writing, so please ask.
So, sir, like मेको पूछना था, like there are two schools of acting which I've been acquainted with. One is like एक Lee Strasberg का the method है, which wherein you derive a lot from your own personal experiences and imbibe it into the character. Then ये जो हमने बात की थी Bertolt Brecht की theory of equanimity, wherein you are supposed to retain your balance and the audience is also supposed to retain their balance and not be moved to tears. And आपकी जितनी भी पिक्चरें मैंने देखी हैं, आप बहुत घुस जाते हैं कैरेक्टर में, and you really live the reality of the character for what it is. Do you think would you endorse it for younger actors जो जब बॉम्बे आते हैं, they have so many external pressures of the industry itself which is already taking a toll on them. So, and when they get into the process of acting,
Who told them that it's going to be easy? Who told them it's going to be easy?
Yeah.
So if I have to answer your question, the Bertolt Brecht never said that you become a lazy guy and not work on it, right? Strasberg has derived all his principles from Stanislavski, okay? So, but Strasberg said the same thing what many years back, Stanislavski has said. But we must understand that each and every method and each and every craft that they coin for the actors to imbibe, all of them needed a lot of practice. Really honing your skill. Learn all the ways, because you are going to use Stanislavski in one, you may use Brecht in the other. Like Family Man is something which is Brecht, very Brechtian for me. And Gali Guliyan or Dispatch is very Stanislavski method, you can say, because you are really getting into it. You are calling on all the references from your life, okay? So we need both and many more. So before 30, you just go ahead and hone your skill, and learn each and every craft that there is available in this world, and use it wisely, use it intelligently whenever it is required. And it always the script that tells you, gives you an idea which way the character should be approached. And that's how I do it. So when I'm doing Family Man, I'm the easiest. I'm not involved. I'm there but not there, and there are also two kind of actors. One who goes to the character, and one who calls the character to himself. I like the first one because I like to see Manoj Bajpayee transforming into different one, a character himself, where it is difficult for Manoj Bajpayee to really recognize himself when he's watching the film. There are other kind of actors who are never affected by the character itself. They are looking at it from a distance, like Irfan was, and he was very good at that. So it's always up to us to decide which way, what kind of actor we want to be. And we always choose according to our own personality, right? Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Devyani.
Devyani. You spoke about how invariably in your mind you go back to Bihar for referencing a character. But I was just curious to know that you go back home as often to Bihar, and how do people there now react to you? Do they come for your shoots? I mean, has that relationship changed?
No, I go back to Bihar just to visit my village, my house. Now parents are no more, so I don't go there that often as I used to. The villagers, they don't never looked at me after I became a known person. Never looked at me as a known star or anything, or a known actor. They always looked at me as their own. So I've always had a relationship with them. They have seen me growing big, right? Growing from a child to adult now, who's living somewhere else. So I'm just a babua from there. I'm not I'm not Manoj the actor for them.
No, I'm going to sort of use a line which you told us during COVID. You had a chat with us at the Indian Express.
Okay.
Um, and so I'll come to that line, but I wanted you to reflect on, and I'm giving my age away in this, seeing a film in a dark cinema hall with a stranger next to you and the star on the screen. And you said that the star was someone more larger than life because you looked up at him at a large on the large screen.
Right.
And now you look down on the star in a small screen.
Right.
So for you as an actor, one, does this streaming, 6 episodes rather than the 1.5 hour film, what does that mean to you, number one? And number two, so now who's a star in this new definition of cinema? When more and more people are watching a film on their phones, on their seat, in the aeroplane, and not that big cinema hall, how have you seen this change as an actor?
Because the stars have changed, the genre has changed. Mainstream films used to have a very concrete storyline, even in Rajesh Khanna days. I mean, if you name 5 Rajesh Khanna films right now, all of them were directed by the greats of Hindi cinema. And all of them had great songs and the great music directors. What a storyline. I would love to be part of it. But at the same time, since it was played on the big screen, they all looked larger than life. Even the character actors, all of them were larger than life. And there was a mystery element about all the stars. I mean, you could hardly see them in real life. They were all into their homes and leading a very private life because there was no intervention of social media. There was no intervention of paparazzi culture. They were not available at all. So there was always a mystery behind them. But with time and with the advent of technology and the rapid evolution of technology, the mystery went away. And now look at the endorsements. I mean, since 2.5 decades, every second product is endorsed by an actor, right? So he is everywhere. Earlier on television, now on a bigger screen of OTT, or they are available on mobile phones to the common denominator. So, but one thing has not changed. Rajesh Khanna or Mr. Amitabh Bachchan were organic superstars. But now superstars are also created through the social media PR. It's PR driven completely. And whoever is good at it, who has had the deep pocket, they are creating a hype around them. But the real stardom lasted only till few years. I mean, till the time technology became such a big thing. Now it's every 5 months is changing, right? The one thing will always survive is the story. The story, when people are watching it, when I see the response of the audience, they like Manoj Bajpayee not because of his mystery element, not because of his PR, it's because of the work that he does. So the true appreciation comes from there. But when it comes to mainstream films, there is a heavy spent that is being done on keeping the interest of the audience alive in the stars and in the film. Okay, uh, of course, that larger than life, the mystery about the stars, mystery about the actors, is no more. But at the same time, cinema and the stars and the actors, they kept on battling it, losing the game, and at the same time winning the game. At the same time, so they keep finding new ways to keep the mystery, not mystery, keep their stardom alive, keep the larger than life image alive about them.
So do you think the big screen and the big cinema all will be there?
I personally think.
Or do you see it fading away?
No, see, no medium will die. Tell me, I mean, with your experiences, tell me, once there is a medium which came in for the audience, it has never gone away. Never gone away. You think TV has gone away? I mean, with OTT coming in, TV has gone nowhere. It's still there. Everybody thought that, because of cinema and because of color television, theaters, plays will stop happening. It didn't. They always get a hit, there is a pause, and they again come back. So the mediums will never die. Once it is introduced, it is created, it will never die. The audiences will keep it alive, not the makers.
My question to you is, you have played very, very landmark characters, and a little bit of them probably stays behind in your head, and they probably collide with each other when you least expect them to. So how do you, wipe the memory of characters that you are known for and you are constantly reminded about?
Isn't it impossible? That's the downside of being an actor. And that is something you cannot help it. I have not been chasing stardom ever. I have only been chasing good roles and great roles, because there was always a sense of achievement when I played them well, right? So when you are so immersed and so invested in character playing, you may outwardly moved on. I mean, you may have moved on, but the characters, you cannot be sure of one thing, that it has gone away. Subconsciously, they are there, okay? And I have come to terms with it. They are there, they are colliding with each other. I think it's also the reason that, the actors like me, they try to find a quiet time. They try to go away to some unknown place, and they become reclusive. I think it's only because of that. It's only because of that collision. But that's the downside of, and so that is something I can't help it, because I enjoy playing characters so much that I give it all. Those bruises of each and every character is there. I know it's there. But how can I save myself, protect myself? I can't. I don't know any other way to play those characters.
Okay, and also since you mentioned NSD and your rejection, every day, a lot of NSD students are auditioning for TV studios like Balaji. They are dying to get a small break in the television industry. So do you feel that real talent somehow is getting diverted into smaller persons and are not finding the right funnel or the right channel to get the roles that you are getting now?
I'm getting now.
There are a lot of options on the OTT.
Look, I mean, I'm getting. It's not been an easy ride, right? It's not been. It's been a survival game. Sometimes you get a good role. Most of the time you don't, when you are, in the initial phase of your of you fighting it out, okay? Um, but you just have to uh, keep working, keep having experience of working in front of the camera, train yourself as a cinema actor, and then no role is a small role, no role is a bad role, okay? This is all going to count. The only thing that they have to keep in their mind that the money that is getting in should be a reason uh, to stop them from seeking more better roles, right? That is very important.
मनोज जी मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि पहले से डिबेट हो रहा है
जी।
कि whether films should be only for entertainment or whether actors or films have also a role in shaping opinions, be political. Do you think taking a role is also a political act, or you think that actors should be only entertainers?
Actually, I will answer it differently, okay? Because cinema is not only for entertainment. Cinema is also medium of art, right? Where I get a chance to express myself, where I get a chance to put out a story where I'm not consciously I'm trying to drive a message to the people. But each and every individual in the auditorium who is watching it or on OTT, it's up to them what to take from a good story and what not to take, right? This is what a good story does. A good story also instigates a good conversation, and that is our job, to tell a good story. If evoking a good conversation after the film or after the story is over, then it's all the better. But taking sides as a storyteller is something I don't think will help you in remaining just a director. Then you will become a political director, political actor, and that is not my job. I'm not good at that. I'm good at observing, listening to both the sides, and telling a story. For me, story is far more important than any side. And let people of different opinions who are watching my film find their own message, find their own points, and go home. That is a better situation, and that is a better purpose of cinema.
But we have seen recently in America also, otherwise also, actors also take political stances. They also,
You can't compare two countries, right? Ninth Amendment is something you don't have it, right? So you really can't. Uh, you don't have. You can't compare two countries. Even in our country, many actors have openly taken their sides. I have a different opinion about it. If you ask me, are you political? Yes, I'm political because I'm politically aware. Yes, I'm political because my household, each and every grocery shopping that I do is impacted by all the policies, right? So all of us are impacted by and affected by each and every political decisions and policies. But I'm a aware human being, aware film actor. I'm aware because when I'm going to tell a story, I'm going to play a role, I'll play it well because I'm aware, because I think, because I read, because I analyze. That is very important for each and every actor or director. To understand the society you are living in, to understand the politics of the world and your nation, to tell your story better.
last question. Films are also used as propaganda. Our films
Every
also,
government does it.
Our films also have stereotyping.
Huh?
Stereotyping बहुत है.
हाँ.
You did one, Family Man में it was very clear stereotyping. Muslims are terrorists, Christians are promiscuous. This is everywhere in Bollywood.
Actually, you have not, then you don't remember the first season. Please visit it, revisit again. I will not go on about it, but please watch first season.
Akash?
Scorsese has said it famously about Marvel movies. और अभी आजकल यहाँ पे we are getting a sense now that the big spectacle film is the cinema hall film. Right. That the business is moving that way. Yeah. Whereas creativity or more story-driven, even a show like Family Man, let's say, script-driven in a lot of ways, a lot of writer-driven, right, as we like to think. But do you think that's what's going to happen? That the cinema hall is no longer going to be a place of communal watching, that you speak of more script-driven, story-driven films, that the hall is for spectacle and technically brilliant, but somehow artistic or more creative, writer-driven, actor-driven films in that sense. Craft-driven films are now going to increasingly be niche OTT products.
I mean, this has been happening. What you're saying is something which has been happening for a few years, but I can't say that it is going to remain like that, because Marvel films are not doing well for lately. Okay, people are bored, right? So this can't be a gospel truth. As long as people are enjoying, they will go to the theater to watch a Marvel film or to watch a VFX heavy film, right? But the moment it becomes repetitive for them, they look for different options. Either they will watch a good film on OTT or a good series, or they will wait for a good film to come in theater to really get out of their comfort zone and watch a film with their family and have a nice weekend, right? So this is just a phase that we are in. There's a lot of churning going on, and there will be a time when things will be different.
आपने जब अपना करियर शुरू किया था तो the first major credit that you got was for Bandit Queen, and it was a controversial film. Censors पर also crosshairs में था censors के. तो आपके जितना करियर रहा है अभी तक, तो आर्टिस्टिक फ्रीडम और लैंडस्केप का अभी आपके अनुभव में क्या बदलाव आया है in terms of how the audience perceive controversial films and how the administration deals with them, deals with them?
Can you come again? Because I didn't get this question.
मैंने कहा कि आपका जो फर्स्ट फिल्म था, जो आपका फर्स्ट मेजर क्रेडिट था,
that went into legal problem, yeah.
Right. तो you have also seen those kind of issues right from the beginning.
Right.
तो आपका जो कार्यकाल रहा है, करियर रहा है, उसमें आपने जो changes देखे हैं अभी, तो has the audience become more open to these kinds of controversial films as the administration?
अभी काफी नहीं, जनरली वर्ल्ड वाइज आप देखिए तो लोग जो हैं अब ज़्यादा ऑफेंड हो रहे हैं, वो दोनों साइड के अब ज़्यादा ऑफेंड हो रहे हैं. वो पहले थोड़े से ऑफेंड होते थे, अभी कुछ ज़्यादा ऑफेंड होते हैं. और अभी वो ज़्यादा इसलिए भी दिखता है कि कोई भी कहीं से बैठा हुआ अपना ऑफेंस जो है ट्विटर पे डाल देता है. तो हमको लगता है कि कुछ ज़्यादा ही पॉपुलेशन जो है ऑफेंड हो रही है. बट वी आर इन दैट टाइम वेयर पीपल आर बिकम वेरी सेंसिटिव. I think it is reflecting in everything in the world. I mean, look at the wokeism, kind of wokeism that we are facing today. Look at the way people are attacking each other. Today you are in my company, in this, we are having a party, and we both of us are on one side. We are having this argument with another bunch of people, and suddenly people come to know that Manoj and him, they had a major fight after the people were gone. So we are in that time that the people are in conflict with each other for the reason which is completely ambiguous. They're just angry. They're just upset. This is my observation about the world and the society largely that we are living in at this point of time.
Sir, from the mid-80s to the almost mid-2000s, there was a sort of a subgenre of Bollywood. You had a lot of gangster films. There was Dayavan, which was competing for linguistic space. When Satya came, until 2005, you had these films which accompanied the company Sarkar, etc. Now, after Rasipur, I think there's been no attempt after Rasipur to actually sort of capture that sort of that subgenre, that underbelly of the underworld, more or less. So do you think that is because of lack of faces who can fit that profile, or lack of storytellers, directors who actually want to sort of do that?
I mean, this has been the ways of the industry. That one thing becomes successful, and then suddenly you see hordes of filmmakers making the same thing. So there was a time when Gangs of Satya happened, and suddenly every second filmmaker was coming to me for a similar kind of role or for a similar kind of world, right? This is this also says that we as an industry, most of us are lazy, don't want to work very hard on it. We try to find a formula, everything, because there are producers who are putting in money, so they want a sure shot formula which can guarantee a good return, right? So like now, every second or third filmmaker today in the industry is writing or making horror comedy. And there is Munjia, which was a small film and became successful. Then Istri 1 and 2 became such super success. Then 1 or 2 South Indian horror comedy. So everyone who is coming to me, every second, third person is coming to me with horror comedy. So this has been the trend in Indian film industry, that we somehow really don't want to make an effort to write something so original that everyone would love it. But there are few filmmakers who are quite amazing, quite genius. Like Gangs of Wasipur was written by the same guy who has written Satya, right? But both of them were about violence, about mafias, but of different kind, different world, different conflict, different kind of relationship, right? So I think we should give it to the filmmakers who is in this kind of a industry, who've been doing well, who've been still trying to break the limitations and trying to create something new. And I'm very lucky that I know most of these filmmakers, somewhere chose me to be part of it. Like Kanu Bahal is the director, Ram Reddy, Kanu Bahal, whose film Dispatch is coming. Or there was Shish Makhija, who made Bhosle and Joram with me. I can, with all surety say that, they are the directors of tomorrow. They are the original thinkers. They are the original storytellers. They are going to create a world of creativity that is lacking today.
And last question to the audience. He has to go.
I just wanted to ask you, you spoke about how Irfan Khan and your method of acting, for example, was very different, and that you were drawn into the character and he drew the character to himself. What exactly does that mean? Can you explain it?
Yeah, with maybe examples
Of
Some examples.
yeah.
And then second question, if you have the time, what do you think happened to Ram Gopal Verma?
The good news is that he's going to make his next with me. So we are trying to find some window of dates to start the film. No, he's not on the run. It's just that he was taking a long break, where he was chilling out. We all envied him in the manner he chilled out. Look, I take a role and try to really change it completely. I change myself according to the role. Irfan has given a different interpretation to it. He made the role of his own, with his own interpretation. He gave a beautiful shape to the character. I think this is what I meant. We'll talk about it very deeply when we'll have enough time. It's a very deep subject. So suppose, yes, example, all the films that he has done. Look at Pan Singh Tomar, which are the performances that I loved of him. Pan Singh Tomar was a brilliant performance. Pan Singh Tomar or Hasil. But I would have done it differently, right? But how differently we'll talk. One day I may write a book on cinema actors. I may elaborate differently and deeply for the students to read and find the difference between these two.